Spectacular, sensational, amazing, ultimate Spider-Man. Whether you love him or you hate him, you gotta respect him. I mean, he is the number 3 superhero in the world and the topic of this video, where I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on what I think they should do with Spider-Man in the MCU. This video comes out in honor of Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie comes out right after Avengers Endgame, so I'm curious to see what the world looks like, what they do with the multiverse, and what's in store for my boy Spider-Man next. I am just so excited for this movie. I mean, hints as to why I'm making this video. I really like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think they introduced him in the movies perfectly. By putting him in Captain America Civil War first, really made him feel like he was a part of their world. And Spider-Man Homecoming was a pretty solid film. However, there were just a few things from that movie that I really wanted to see and that I didn't get. Those being a crazy fight scene and Independence. I'll tell you guys what I mean by Independence in just a second, but first, we're gonna talk about that action. So I guess Spider-Man's not really known for being a fighter, but that doesn't mean he can't throw hands. Now, don't get me wrong, the MCU has done a pretty good job of showing what my boy Spider-Man can do in a fight. Our first time seeing him was in Captain America Civil War fighting Avengers, and he gave Falcon and Winter Soldier that work. He caught Cole Obsidian's giant hammer and saved Iron Man, which is just another great example of Spider-Man's strength. He easily catches it and acts like it was nothing. And Spider-Man got some solid hits in on Thanos in Infinity War. So the MCU Spider-Man has definitely done some pretty dope stuff out of the 5 movies he's been in already. That being said, what I'm still looking for is some type of like crazy off the walls one-on-one fight. You know, something like Captain America versus Winter Soldier. Now look, y'all already know when talking about fights, I can't forget to talk about the Sam Raimi trilogy. They had an impact. They were dirty, raw, exciting, and the stakes were always high. And Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was really about that action. His fight with Green Goblin was heat, his fight with Sandman was lit, and of course, that fight sequence on the train with Doc Ock was fire. It was legendary. It was fast-paced, it showed off all of Spider-Man's skills, they kept throwing hands back and forth, and then right after that, he immediately stops a train. Come on! Look, it's just too late. What I'm trying to say is, give me a fight scene like the train fight scene, you know? Give me something where it's personal and it's a one-on-one crazy fight scene. Because that fight was just amazing. And we haven't had anything like that yet. Something that tops that, which is just kind of crazy for me, especially since Spider-Man is such a big character, as he is. Like, I thought his fight with the Vulture was cool, it was solid, but it definitely could have gone a little bit harder. It's just something that I wanted more from. I thought that they could have done a lot more. For example, they could have put him in a city, right? Like tall buildings and stuff where the Vulture's flying around, and then you have Spider-Man swinging around trying to jump on his back or something, and they're crashing into buildings. Just something more than what we got, because that last fight scene with them at the beach, it was mostly just, if you notice, just Spider-Man getting grabbed by the Vulture's feet and then just getting slammed up and down onto the sand. It could have been better. It could have been better is what I'm trying to say. But none of that matters anymore. So you know, moving forward in the MCU, hopefully we'll still get that one-on-one fight that I'm thinking of. Maybe the solution to that is giving us a villain that he can actually, you know, physically fight. Somebody that will pose a physical threat. Somebody like Scorpion or Kraven or even the Prowler. You know, one of those guys would definitely be a good matchup, just so we can see him, you know, fight hand to hand with somebody. But Spider-Man Far From Home is not out yet. So maybe, just maybe, Mysterio will give us that crazy one-on-one fight that I'm looking for in the MCU. Okay, so I'm done talking about action. Oh! So what I meant by independence is I want to see Spider-Man be more of a solo hero. Him having a relationship with Tony Stark in the movies was a good way of establishing him in the MCU. But I gotta say, I was probably done with their dynamic pretty much right after Captain America Civil War. Like, for example, that scene in Spider-Man Homecoming where Iron Man goes into the water and saves Spider-Man, but he's carrying him like a baby. Like, haha, very funny. I get it was played for jokes, but I didn't really like it. It kind of felt like they were belittling Spider-Man in a way. Because by having Iron Man in Spider-Man Homecoming, I feel like it was a distraction for some people. I feel as though it took away from it being a Spider-Man solo film. In a way, that movie is about Spider-Man looking for the guidance and acceptance of Iron Man. And for me personally, I feel like that takes something away from his character. He's a character that makes mistakes. He's a character that has to learn and be a superhero all on his own. And to be fair, I understand that this is our first time having a Spider-Man in a world with other superheroes, and it's really exciting to have him interact with other characters. But in Spider-Man Homecoming, it was not a team-up film. It wasn't Iron Man and Spider-Man teaming up. It was Spider-Man trying to get, like I said before, the acceptance of Iron Man. He was fighting for the approval of another hero to see if he is a hero yet. And I think a movie that did a great job at answering this question, or at least how Spider-Man views being a hero, is Into the Spider-Verse. Specifically the scene where Miles Morales asks Peter Parker, "When will I know I'm ready?" And Peter Parker replies to him, "You won't. It's a leap of faith." Now, I feel like this is a very important part to Peter Parker's character. I feel like this is what he believes being Spider-Man is. He was never looking for the approval of another hero. He doesn't need somebody there to tell him it's time to step up. He became Spider-Man based off of guilt. He is Spider-Man right now because he knows with great power comes great responsibility. I know I said it super corny, but to me, that's what Spider-Man is. You know, he's a self-made superhero, and that's not to say that I don't love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I really do. I think he's refreshing. I think he's fun, and when I see him, I just see all the potential that he has to grow. And moving forward in the MCU, hopefully we can get less of an Iron Man Jr. and more of him just being Spider-Man. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. You know, I had a blast making this video. I love Spider-Man, which is why my next video is actually going to be my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. If you liked it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Please hit subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.